Justin, thanks very much for taking some time out of what is no doubt a really busy day. But just wanted to put some content together for our clients back in the UK and across the world who couldn't make it here today and won't make it to the next events. And hopefully you can enlighten us with where the product has come to and where it's going next. But there was some big concepts out there this morning. Unlimited and Boundless Invention. Talk to me about what all these things should mean to your customers.
Yeah, so I think you talked to Alex, but the Boundless Digital Invention is really an aspiration that we have for our customers. It is about, reaching beyond what you can currently do today, what you feel you have the capabilities of, and invention is really around being more scientific about it. And we feel like it's definitely something that's needed for our customers and the encouragement and the aspiration of what we're doing. But it really comes down to allowing the products to unlimit how digital teams work so that they can focus on what they can achieve. Mm-hmm. And that to us, from a product perspective, is really the key ingredient. What can we do for the practitioners so that they can create the most amazing customer experiences?
Yeah, because we've been working together for some time. 6 years I've been working with you. We've been with Episerver, now Optimizely, for like 10, 11 years now. Come such a long way. You've brought together all of these products. That must make a big difference for all of the types of personas that you're building the product for now. So, how do you balance your efforts across all of those personas and where's the big focus right now?
Yeah, for one, when I met you 6 years ago, you had a lot of hair, it was darker. But more importantly, from a persona perspective, from a content and commerce, whether it's, content creators, marketers, merchandisers, there was probably 12 to 14 that we worked with. Now, with the expansion of the capabilities, working with data scientists, experimenters, and more data-oriented individuals to try to figure out to help them figure out what's going on in the organization. So we track, I think, 36 different personas that use our product on a regular basis. That's almost a 3x of what we had before. And when we develop towards those, we try to make sure to be very mindful of what they're trying to achieve with the product so that we're developing those capabilities. Sounds sensible, but until you really know those personas of who's using the product, it's kind of a guessing game as to what they're really looking for. So. Yeah. And
you've talked about 3 new pillars, bringing together some of that collection of products in a more simplified way, I suppose. Do you want to share some of that?
Yeah, so for somebody from Northern Ireland, we felt simplifying it was really important. We talked about Orchestrate, Monetise, and Experiment. And then from there, the capabilities branch. And really, Orchestrate is about content marketing, is about digital asset management and the content management itself, the typical CMS. And that is a huge investment that we've had. We acquired the company Welcome, that's now called Content Marketing. And what that really allows us to do is to have a single place for those practitioners or those marketers to do their work. When they're developing a campaign and the multitude of tasks that come off of that campaign, we're able to do that in a single tool. Then being able to publish to CMS, being able to use the right asset, all of that working seamlessly together is important. That's what we call Orchestrate. The Monetise capabilities is whether it's on the B2C or the B2B side, and it's really being more thoughtful about those use cases and what we deliver. So if we think about B2B, for instance, we have a strong manufacturing distributing representation, and they're at a different point in their journey. Maybe they're still taking faxes and now they're taking online orders, which is different than possibly a B2C organization who we focus on those organizations that appreciate content driving the commerce experience. Here at the user conference, we have customers like Gartner's Supply who talk a lot about the conversions of when customer starts with content and how that ends within the in the buying process. And then Experiment. This is really about client side experimentation, server side experimentation. We have capabilities called web experimentation, and now we renamed a feature experimentation. And this is really about testing and learning and making sure that you're mixing and matching the right capabilities, delivering the right message to the right audience, and testing what works, and possibly testing the right channels to reach your customers. And it's a really powerful solution. And combined all together, yeah, Orchestrate, Monetise, and Experiment are really what we do for our customers.
Yeah, I think that simplification is probably welcome given the vast array of products that we've had over the last little while. But we see our clients, very comfortable within the content and commerce side of things. Not all of our clients have a data science capability, and very often they've got slightly perhaps less efficient ways of working. So these products really could make a difference, particularly in the area of experimentation, I guess. How do you serve those organizations that are just starting out? Because so many are just starting out on continuous optimization or conversion rate optimization, never mind feature flagging and really advanced experimentation capabilities. How do you balance the efforts across those types of organizations? Are you aiming at the enterprise or aiming at the early adopter as well?
Yeah, so the enterprise certainly are able to accommodate because they have higher volume. They can take a little bit bigger risk because they're looking for small impacts. The smaller organizations, they have to get it right. And as the guy who runs product, I wish I could go into organizations and talk explicitly about the double flags and the stat sig and all these different capabilities as a part of the technology where it really will help make a difference. But when people don't know really the culture of what you need in order to experiment in the process, we talk about it as a whole product perspective explicitly. On the experimentation side, you need the technology in order to function, but you also need the customer to have the right structure and understanding and adoption. But you also need us, partner, and the vendor to make sure to surround that customer with the right level of resources. We have a ton of folks that just focus on experimentation and how it works for the big brands, the small brands of the world, and then expertise from you as a partner help make sure to bring that together. But that whole product aspect is critical because you can't just throw technology at it. That's not going to work on its own. You have to be able to support it in other ways.
Yeah, there's a whole mindset change about being more accepting of I'll not say risk, but testing features in an open market and shipping that bit quicker, get rid of the fear of shipping, I suppose.
Yeah.
Experimentation allows you to be a bit more brave with those things, and we're seeing that with clients. Is that something that you see with more of our traditional clients adopting the experimentation platform?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has the mantra, fail fast, but when you actually until you failed fast and, it might have had an impact. But if you don't go through that learning process, then you're never going to end up with something that's more effective. I think that the first few, it's scary.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're jumping into. It's just an abyss to them in their mind. And it's scary. So they might feel like they have to spend months and months and years trying to develop the right experiment that's absolutely perfect, that does deliver the value. Well, that's not the entire intent of it. Yeah. You get winners and losers in order to determine that. But those first few are very scary to the folks. So the credibility of having been there, done that before, be able to talk about other customers, what you're able to do, how you're surrounding it, that's what starts to reduce their angst and increases their interest in being able to do it.
Yeah, balancing the efforts across the whole experience and nudging everything forward is what we've seen has worked for some of our clients who are just getting started on this and getting that comfort level. So what's next with the product development? Every time you turn around, you've got something new to offer. You've done a lot to get to here. Is it a time to settle down for a bit and make sure the product gets to the market? Or are you going to?
Jeez, you're never satisfied, man. We just talk a lot about.
Said slow down. We've done so much. Let us embed this.
Yeah, where we're spending a lot of our time is, the practitioner experience, really the marketer, and as we talked about before. But it's continuing to deliver the right information to that practitioner. We talk about it as smart, right? We want to make sure that we provide a way for the practitioner to be smart. Yeah. And so including the right data, the right time to encourage what content do I need to create?
Yeah.
Well, how the heck do I know? Well, you don't have the data to tell you. The data should give you that information as you're going through that process, and you don't know what you don't know. So how do you become smarter about it? That's really where the next level, if we were to come back and fast forward a year to the next Opticon, there's going to be even greater advances to make the practitioner smarter.
Yeah.
So,
and as we leave today as a partner, what do you think should be our big takeaway? What do you think we should be encouraging our clients to do now? As our next step, take action at these events is really important.
Yeah, so like there's this fine line that we talk about all these capabilities being better together, and how our DXP or the digital experience platform, we can do all these things. But I think making sure the basics are there. If you're there to improve the website, or if you're focused on cross-selling and creating product recommendations, like focus on the things that make it successful. Where I think that and you guys do this great, there's a couple of customers that you've done this for. What are the goals that you have? What are the outcomes you're trying to achieve? Because you could literally do anything if you don't know what you're really trying to achieve. So you're trying to decrease customer acquisition cost or increase revenue. Well, you kind of build the logic from there. And I think that too often the sequencing is not right. For you as a partner and us as a vendor, the way that we make our customers successful is incrementally get them there, and we put them on the right sequence, the right path to be able to deliver it. And I think that too often, there's just this big bang expectation, whereas we have to do a much better job sequencing together to help improve the customer's lives.
Okay, so going back to experimentation, which is a big focus for today and this Opticon, where do you see the adoption for that product, across maturity levels and across sectors? Where are you seeing the biggest traction? Who's doing the best work? Who's doing the most interesting work? And who's getting the best results and value from the platform?
I would say the easiest area, the most obvious, are the ones that can measure outcomes very easily. So retail, right? You do something, it converts into a transaction. And so volume certainly helps, but the ones that have measurable outcomes that are pretty obvious. We did this test and we saw these results. But other areas are seeing great success, like financial services, for instance. It's not just about testing a title or the image. It could be the process, the lead generation process. When you go and sign up
forms and things like that.
Exactly. So do I need 2 steps, 3 steps, 5 fields, 12 fields? And so making sure that you adapt and learn and test on that. Where is the button to call versus chat? And that whole process. The customers that have a good idea of what they're trying to measure and how to combine it are the ones that have the most success. Again, retail is the most obvious, but we have customers from all sectors, publishing, financial services, and it's those that know their outcomes that they're trying to achieve and how to measure it. Those are the ones that can have a successful experimentation.
Every site is a commercial site, even if it's not transactional. It's we just have to get to the value of that conversion point and build back from there. And that's something that we're looking at with our clients. But financial services for sure seems like an area that this could logically sit.